Sa isang bansang puno ng ingay ng politika at kontrobersya, sino ang nagsasabi ng totoo? Sino ang nasa panig ng bayan? Welcome to Bayang Pinas, ang news channel na hindi takot maglatag ng katotohanan. Dito, pinag-uusapan natin ang mga isyong may kinalaman sa kinabukasan mo, politika, pamahalaan at ang tunay na kalagayan ng ating bansa. Hindi kami bayad, hindi kami bulag. Sa Bayang Pinas, ang boses ng mamamayan ang tunay na headline. Kaya kung sawang-sawa ka na sa mga baluktot na impormasyon at scripted na kwento, dito ka na. Dito sa Bayang Pinas, tayo ang bantay at boses ng bayan. Kung gusto mong manatiling mulat at informed, don't forget to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe dahil sa panahon ngayon, ang kaalaman ay kapangyarihan. Ito ang Bayang Pinas, balitang totoo, pusong makabayan para sa sambayanang Pilipino. Tara na't alamin ang tunay na balita.
Ayan, pakinggan ho natin ang tagapagsalita ng Korte Suprema kaugnay dyan sa ilinabas nila na desisyon na yan kaninang tanghali. Eto, Martin Romualdez, makinig ka. Joel Chua, sino pa ba? Luis Tro, lahat kayo. At para doon sa mga senator judges, itupin nyo na yung mga toga nyo. Itago nyo na sa inyong mga baol at aparadol dahil hindi magagamit yan. Paano nyo itutuloy yung trial kung sinabi na ng kataas-taasan, kataas-taasang korte sa ating bansa na unconstitutional yung ginagawa nyo na yan? Doon pala, tinarget yung pinakaunang proseso di ba? No, ito mga kababayan, di tayo abogado. Hayaan natin tagapagsalita ng Korte Supremang sumalansan dyan. Game!
The first three were filed before the House by private individuals against Vice President Duterte. The first three were filed before the House by private individuals and different groups on December 2, 4, and 19 in 2024. A fourth complaint was lodged by a resolution approved by more than one-third of the House members of the 19th Congress on February 5, 2025, which was transmitted as the Articles of Impeachment to the Senate on the same day. This was followed by two petitions filed before the Supreme Court challenging its constitutionality. The Supreme Court decision written by Senior Associate Justice Marvic M.B.F. Leonen ruled that all legal issues involving impeachment proceedings are subject to judicial review, considering the nature of the offices and the institutions that are subject to impeachment, its effect on the independence of constitutional departments and organs, and its nature as a constitutional process. The impeachment process is primarily a legal and constitutional procedure, but with political characteristics. It may be sui generis, but it is not a purely political proceeding. This means that the Bill of Rights, especially the Due Process Clause and the right to speedy disposition of cases, applies to the entire impeachment process, it said. Although the court does not determine whether an impeachable officer may be removed or disqualified from political office, it emphasized that it has a duty to construe the process mandated in the Constitution. In declaring that the articles of impeachment were barred by the one-year rule, the decision differentiated the first three complaints from the fourth complaint. The first three, it said, were filed under Article 11, Section 3, Paragraph 2 of the Constitution, which allows any citizen to file a verified complaint with an endorsement by any House member. The fourth one was through Article 11, Section 3, Paragraph 4 of the Constitution, through a verified complaint or resolution filed by at least one-third of the House members. The court took note that the House and the 19th Congress did not act on the first three endorsed complaints, which were considered terminated or dismissed upon adjournment of the House. The three impeachment complaints were archived and therefore deemed terminated or dismissed on February 5, 2025. Therefore, no new impeachment complaint, if any, may be commenced earlier than February 6, 2026, the Supreme Court held. Under Article 11, Section 3, Paragraph 5 of the Constitution, no impeachment proceedings shall be initiated against the same official more than once within a period of 1 year. According to the decision, the one-year bar is reckoned from the time an impeachment complaint is dismissed or is no longer viable. A key issue in the petitions is whether the House complied with the 10-session-day requirement under the Constitution for including a verified impeachment complaint in the order of business of the House. The court ruled that the House was able to comply with the requirement by putting the 3 endorsed impeachment complaints in the order of business of the House of Representatives, since a session day is not equivalent to a calendar day. It is a period that starts from a call to order until the session is adjourned, regardless of the passage of time. However, the court reminded the House that Article 11, Section 3, Paragraph 2 of the Constitution clearly requires that a verified impeachment complaint be immediately put in the order of business within 10 session days from its endorsement. The Constitution does not grant either the Secretary General or the Speaker of the House any discretion to determine when this period commences. Consequently, the House of Representatives is not granted any discretion except to refer these matters to the proper committee within 3.
O, teka lang, yung mga Talyanista at ensaymada vlogger, magsitabi kayo, hindi nyo naiintindihan na sinasabi nitong si Madam. Ha? Hindi nyo naiintindihan to, alis kayo dyan.
Session days. However, the House may opt to consolidate all impeachment complaints properly commenced and endorsed within these periods. The court also determined that due process applies to the impeachment process. It laid down the following due process requirements in impeachment proceedings. First, the articles of impeachment or resolution must include evidence when shared with the House members, especially those who are considering its endorsement. Second, the evidence should be sufficient to prove the charges in the articles of impeachment. Third, the articles of impeachment and the supporting evidence should be available to all members of the House of Representatives, not only to those who are being considered to endorse. Fourth, the respondent in the impeachment complaint should have been given a chance to be heard on the articles of impeachment and the supporting evidence to prove the charges prior to its transmittal to the Senate, despite the number of endorsements from House members. The House of Representatives must be given reasonable time to reach their independent decision of whether they will endorse an impeachment complaint. The court, however, has the power to review whether this period is sufficient, but petitioner, who invokes the court's power to review, should prove that officials failed to perform their duties properly. Sixth, the basis of any charge must be for impeachable acts or omissions committed in relation to their office and during the current term of the impeachable officer. For the President and Vice President, these acts must be sufficiently grave, amounting to the crimes described in Article 11, Section 2, or a betrayal of public trust given by the majority of the electorate. For the other impeachable officers, the act must be sufficiently grave that they undermine and outweigh the respect for their constitutional independence and autonomy. And seventh, to ensure that respondent in the impeachment complaint is heard under the requirements of due process in the procedure under Article 11, Section 3, Paragraph 4, the House of Representatives is required to A. Provide a copy of the articles of impeachment and its accompanying evidence to the respondent to give him or her an opportunity to respond within a reasonable period to be determined by the House rules. The Constitution only requires an opportunity to be heard. It is up to the respondent to waive this fundamental right and opt to present his or her evidence at the Senate trial. And B. Make the articles of impeachment with its accompanying evidence and the comment of the respondent available to all members of the House of Representatives. It is the House, not 1/3 of the House, that has the sole prerogative to initiate impeachment complaints. Thus, there must be some modicum of deliberations so that each member representing their constituents can be heard and thus convince others of their position. The transmittal will only take place upon the qualified vote of 1/3 of the House. We quote from the final note of the unanimous decision. It is not our duty to favor any political result. Ours is to ensure that politics are framed within the rule of just law. We cannot concede the sobriety of fairness inherent in due process of law to the passions of a political moment. Our fundamental law is clear. The end does not justify the means.
Nako,
We understand our history. We have learned that in the past, momentary desires to do what is convenient and concede means to ends have inadvertently created precedents that weaken the succor of law for those who dissent, or those at our society's margins, or those who may have fallen out of grace from the powers that be. We have learned that the clash of political interests in the past, often disguised by noble intentions, has obscured the need to address the real problems of corruption, inequality, poverty, and disempowerment faced by our people. We will not allow that to happen again. We will not hesitate to declare what is legal, just, and right for our people. There is a right way to do the right thing at the right time. This is what the rule of just law means. This is what fairness or due process of law means, even for impeachment. End of quote. The Supreme Court's ruling is immediately executory. It shall be deemed served on the petitioners and released upon publication in the Supreme Court website and receipt of the parties of their digital copy in accordance with the guidelines on the transition to electronic filing in the Supreme Court. We urge everyone to read the full text of the decision and the concurring opinions. Thank you very much.
ayun.
Hi, Attorney. Nagpuna na ako. Adrian Ayalin po, ABS-CBN. So, sa madaling sabi, wala pong magaganap na impeachment trial ngayon. Hindi pwedeng mag-hold ng impeachment trial ang Senado.
Well, the court said that the House complaint versus the VP is unconstitutional and null and void, and therefore the Senate did not acquire jurisdiction to convene as an impeachment court.
Eh, paano yan? Nag-convene na sila, nagmamadali sila. Nagmamadali sila. Di ba? Apurado sila na. Umpisa na natin impeachment. Impeachment na eh. Mag-convene na tayo. Di ba? Dapat forthwith. Oh, look. Kagaya ng sinabi ni Senator Rodante Marcoleta, meron tayong issue dun sa one-year bar rule. Oh, kagaya ng sinabi niya. Kung paano na sinabi nitong si Senator Rodante Marcoleta na meron tayong problema dyan at sigurado mabubutasan sila dyan sa isa na yan. Nangyari ho lahat ang sinabi nitong si Senator Rodante Marcoleta. Tama din yung mga sinasabi niya na huwag natin pag-usapan yung hindi mangyayari. Hindi nga pala. Sorry naman.
Hanggang until February 6, 2026 na hindi pwede.
The February 6, 2026, that's the due date. I mean, that's the date until when another complaint can be filed.
Okay. And wala na pong pwedeng magawa ang House of Representatives, as you said, immediately.
Yan kasi ang arte-arte nyo dyan sa House. Pinapasagot lang naman kayo. Ayaw nyo sumagot. O yan tuloy nangyari. Kaso pagka sumagot sila, baka lalo lang ho silang mapahiya. Kaya ang ginawa nilang aksyon, wag na lang sumagot. Kasi magmumukha ho silang anga dyan sa issue na yan. Yun ang sigurado.
Executory.
It's immediately executory, but they always have the option to file a motion for reconsideration.
Thank you, Attorney.
Attorney, Ben Punta po sa Philippine News Agency. To clarify lang, it was a unanimous decision. There was no division among the justices of the rule.
It's a unanimous decision, although there were two justices who did not vote.
May we know the two justices po?
Sino kayo dalawa na yan?
Yes, so that's Justice Benjamin Kagiwa, he inhibited, and there's Justice Maria Filomena Singh, who was on leave.
Ay, unleave yung isa. Unleave naman pala eh. Unleave naman pala yung isa eh.
Hi ma'am, Salima Refran ng GMA. Ma'am,
Itong si Sarima Refran parang entrada pa lang parang hindi na maganda dating sa akin eh.
para po
galit
mas maintindihan ng publiko, ano po yung naging dahilan ng Korte Suprema kung bakit nga po naging null and void ito nga pong articles of impeachment at hindi po dapat matuloy itong nga pong impeachment trial laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte?
Well, number one, it said that the articles of impeachment, which was the fourth complaint, violated the one-year period ban. Because there were 3 complaints that came ahead of it. And although Congress was able to include it in the order of business, it did not refer it to the proper committee within the 3 days because they had to adjourn. So the Supreme Court said that they archived it, and as a result, it was terminated, therefore deemed it dismissed. So the one-year ban will start or count from the time it was dismissed. So the fourth complaint could not have validly been transmitted to the Senate.
Tapos, ma'am, meron din pong sinabi yung korte tungkol po dun sa hindi nito ina-absuelto.
Yes.
Tama. Pwede pong pakiulit yun and pakipaliwanag.
Ayun kasi yun lang ang i-quote nila. Sa lahat ng sinabi mo, madam, yung hindi ina-absuelto, ha? Kasi sa harapan ng mainstream media na yan, guilty na si BP Sara. Kaya dapat i-emphasize natin yung hindi ina-absuelto si BP Sara. Tama ba yung reporter ng Channel 7, tama ba sa Rima Refran, di ba? Yun lang ang i-quote natin na hindi ina-absuelto si Sara Duterte. Di ba? Yun lang ang i-report natin. Ano pa rin siya? Guilty pa rin siya sa harapan ng mga walang yung mainstream media na to.
Parte pong yan.
So the court is... Okay.
Natawa si madam. Alam niya, sa kahaba-haba ng sinabi niya, yung hindi pag-aabsuelto ang i-quote ng walang yung GMA na yan.
The court said it is not absolving Vice President Duterte from any of the charges against her. So that means, again, hindi siya absolved from any of the charges. But any complaint for impeachment against her can only be filed by Feb 6, 2026 onwards.
So, pwede pa rin humarap.
Pwede pa rin.
Hi, Attorney Mikael Flores of Reuters.
Hi.
Attorney, just to clarify, so essentially the decision acts on a procedural flaw on the part of the House of Representatives in initiating the complaint, and it does not really act on the merits or the grounds that were cited in the articles of impeachment.
Natatawa ako doon sa mga post ng mga DDS eh. Yung mga toga daw nila, ibenta na. Diba? Para mabawi naman anak ng toga. Oy, cheese! Anong gagawin natin sa mga toga na yan? Ibenta nyo na!
Because he also said that the decision does not absolve the Vice President of the charges that are lodged against her.
Yes, so the decision does not delve into the merits of the impeachment complaints against the VP, but rather it just said that the impeachment complaint that was transmitted to the Senate was void for being contrary to the one-year ban, and that it violated the due process rights of the VP.
And in terms of way forward, when, for example, the House of Representatives invoke their independence as a co-equal and independent branch of government, how is the court planning to...
Sabi nito si Atty. Rowena Gonzon, awit sa inyo, mga taga-House. Awit sa inyo, Lodi. Awit!
Weigh on a possible, constitutional crisis should they defy this order of the...
Yung mga reporter dyan, mga broken-hearted. Mga naratibo kasi ng mga taga-House ang binibenta ng mga yan. Di pro Sara Duterte ng Korte Suprema niyan. Anak ng Petrang Garabata. Pro Sara Duterte na siya. Yari kayo niyan. Sige, subukan yung kulayan ng politika, yung desisyon nila na yan para makontempt kayo ng Korte Suprema. Hindi na nga nila pinag-uusapan yung PhilHealth at yung GAA. Ito na nga lang impeachment. Ayaw kasi sumagot ng mga taga-House. Yan tuloy na pala.
Court and invoke their independence as a co-equal branch of government.
Well, right now we cannot answer a hypothetical question such as that, but I'm confident that the House and the Senate will respect the decision of the Supreme Court.
Ayun na nga mga kababayan, rekta ho tayo dito kay Atty. Rowena Gonzon, ang ating pinakamamahal na Atty. Rowena Gonzon. Game! Tommy, balagbagan na yan.
Dineclare na ng Supreme Court na unconstitutional ang impeachment complaints kay Vice President Sara Duterte.
Tingin ko sana House of Representative maraming atake sa puso ngayong araw na, unconstitutional, nangyari dyan!
Nakasaad po kasi sa ating saligang batas, ang konstitusyon, na ang impeachable officers,
Former Associate Justice Attorney Rowena Guanzon, palakpakan ho muna natin. Siya magpapaliwanag, walang kabayas-bayas.
kaya ng Vice President, ay pwede lamang ma-impeach minsan, once lang, sa isang taon, bawat opisyal na impeachable. At ano po ang ginawa dito ni Speaker Romualdez? 4 na complaint po ang pinagfa-file sa isang taon. Hindi lamang 2. 4 talaga?
Kailangan talagang i-emphasize yun. 4 talaga. Isang taon na usapan, ba't ang dami niya? Ito talagang si Atty. Rowena Guanzon. Kahit seryoso, alam mo talagang bumibira siya eh. At yung puno ng House of Representatives, yun ang sinisibak niya. Hindi yan si Reginald Velasco, hindi yan si Luis Pro, hindi yan si Joel Chua. Si Romualdez, 4 ang yung pinail sa House of Representatives.
At kaya sagot ang House of Representatives at ang Speaker ng Supreme Court. Sagutin ito mga katanungan ito. Ano nangyari doon sa 3 impeachment complaint? Bakit itong pang-4, ito yung inakyat nyo doon sa Senado? Bilang itong complaint na siyang basihan ng paglilitis o impeachment. Nasaan ang 3? Ano nangyari sa 3? Anong nga komite ang nagpasa nito? Sinabi pa ng Supreme Court, sagutin ni Speaker. Nabasa ba ng lahat ng congressman at congresswoman ang impeachment complaint na yan bago nila pinirmahan? Di ba may narinig tayong mga haka-haka dyan, pero palagay ko totoo yun, na pinatawag daw ang mga congressman na mga majority, mga congressman na under the thumb of Speaker Romualdez, pinatawag daw at doon sila nagpirmahan. Yung mga hindi pumirma, yun yung hindi pumunta o hindi pinatawag. Kaya, ang tanong ng Supreme Court, nabasa ba ng lahat yung impeachment complaint na yon? Yung pang-4 bago yan pinirmahan ng mga sumang-ayon? Hindi na po sumagot. Yan ho ang problema. Kung ating House of Representatives ay sinasabi niyang siya, ang Speaker, ay hindi po niya sasagutin ang Supreme Court. Abay. Ngayon ka lang makakita ng sabi democratic na bansa na ang House of Representatives ay ayong sumagot sa Supreme Court.
Tinataman nyo na siya. Ayaw nyo kasi sumagot. Tinatanong lang naman kayo, mga walang niya kayo. Nabasa nyo ba yung articles of impeachment? Mahigit 200. Bakit tayo nyo sumagot? Sinunod nyo ba yung 1 year bar rule? Ba't tayo nyo sumagot?
Sa Amerika na. Pag pinapasagot ng Supreme Court, sasagot talaga lahat ng mga opisyalis ng gobyerno. Aba ito, talagang saksakan na talaga ang kapangyarihan ni Speaker Romualdez sa ilalim ng administrasyon ng kanyang pinsan, ni President BBM. Ito ay isang dagok na naman, hindi lamang dagdagok ito. Saksak ito sa dibdib ni BBM ang ginawa ng pinsan niyang Speaker of the House.
Sabi na kasing ayaw ni BBM yan. Mamaya dyan, pagka in-interview siya, sabi ko na ayoko niyan eh. Tignan nyo to, legit, sabi ng Korte Suprema, di ba ayoko yan? Ang saya naman ng araw na to. Ito pinakamasayang Biyernes.
Sa pagmamadali.
Paano yung laban ni Toriat nitong si Mayor Boste? Ang tagal in-SS yan na mainstream media tapos ganun-ganun na lang natin bibitawan? Buong weekend ito pag-uusapan natin? Anak ng Petrang Garapata. Yes. Maghintay ka dyan, Tore. Kahit anong SS ang gawin mo dyan sa issue na yan, dito na kami. Unconstitutional ang impeachment. Mas masaya to.
Kalini lang, talagang tanggalin si VP Sara para wala na siyang kalaban sa 2028. Ay lahat ginawa nilang basta mapadali lang. Kaya ngayon, sasabihin pa ba niya ni Speaker na hindi siya sangayon at hindi sila papayag? Ngayon, wala siyang magawa dahil yung Senado, hindi niya uto-uto yan si Senate President Cheese Escudero. Siyempre, sasabihin ni Senate President Cheese Escudero, magsalita ng Supreme Court. Ano gagawin namin? Mas mataas pa ba kami sa Korte Suprema?
Nako. Ang impeachment court ba mas mataas sa court? Kaya nga Supreme eh. Huwag na natin tawagin Supreme yan. Tawagin na natin Supreme Court yung impeachment court. Kung hindi susundin yan ng impeachment court, wala nang korting mas tataas pa sa Supreme Court.
Mas mataas pa ba ang House of Representatives under Speaker Romualdez sa Korte Suprema? BBM, kasalanan po ito lahat ng inyong pinsan. Kaya sana po tanggalin nyo na yan as Speaker. Yan lang.
Ito naman si Atty. Rowena Gonzon. Masyadong madiin.
Nakakasama na talaga ng image niyo lalo eh. Kasi lahat ng ginawa niya, simula pa dun sa budget na institutionalize na yung lahat ng mga ayuda dun na ginawa nilang
Ayun, naputol. Ayun na nga mga kababayan. Marami-rami pa ho tayong video ang paparating ka. Dito sa Asian